Gentlemen, let me start with a simple but important question. How often do we assume we know what a partner enjoys, what makes them feel cared for, or what helps them relax, without ever actually asking? Many people go into relationships believing that good connection is something automatic, something that just happens if the chemistry is right. But real closeness works differently. It depends on communication, patience, and understanding the emotional and biological systems that shape how someone responds to touch, affection, and attention. Most people, with the best intentions, move too quickly when they want to show affection. They rush, thinking enthusiasm is enough, but a person's body and mind don't open up instantly. Comfort is not a switch someone flips. It's a gradual shift that happens when their nervous system feels safe, valued, and connected. When you take your time to build that foundation, you unlock a completely different level of trust, one that strengthens the relationship far more than any shortcut ever could. As a doctor who studies how the body reacts to emotional cues, I can tell you this with complete confidence. The most powerful part of physical closeness is not technique, it's the feeling of safety and respect behind it. When someone feels genuinely cared for, when they know you are paying attention to their needs and not just following your own rhythm, their entire system responds. Their breathing changes, their muscles relax, and their brain shifts into a calmer state that allows them to fully experience the moment rather than guard themselves against it. This shift is not imaginary, it is a biological reaction tied to real chemistry in the body. One of the key players is a hormone called oxytocin. Many people call it the bonding hormone or the cuddle chemical, but its role goes much deeper. Oxytocin helps reduce stress signals in the brain, lowers defensiveness, and encourages a feeling of closeness and trust. When a person feels respected, heard, and emotionally secure, their oxytocin levels naturally rise. This makes affection feel warmer, deeper, and more meaningful. Think of it this way: emotional connection is the doorway, and physical comfort is the room on the other side. You cannot rush through the doorway expecting the room to already be welcoming. You create the atmosphere together, slowly, intentionally, and with genuine curiosity about what the other person enjoys. When you shift your mindset from performance to presence, the entire experience becomes more fulfilling for both of you. Before any physical closeness even begins, words play a crucial role. Many people think talking about boundaries, preferences, or comfort will ruin the mood, but the truth is the opposite. Clear communication removes pressure, eliminates guesswork, and shows your partner that you care about their well-being as much as your own. A calm, respectful question can transform the entire dynamic. Something as simple as, "How do you like to be touched?" Yeah. Or, "Is there anything that makes you uncomfortable so I can avoid it?" Sends a powerful message. You are not assuming anything, and their comfort matters to you. You're not performing, you're collaborating. This kind of conversation encourages openness rather than tension. It also prevents missteps because every person has different sensitivities, preferences, and boundaries. What feels relaxing to one person may be overwhelming to another. Some people are ticklish in certain areas. Some have places on their body they don't like touched. Some have emotional associations or discomfort linked to certain sensations. Knowing these things beforehand protects the trust you're trying to build. Communication is not something you do once and forget about. It's an ongoing dialogue. Short check-ins like, "Does this feel okay?" or "Is this good for you?" help you stay connected to your partner's experience instead of guessing. Even someone who seems confident on the outside can have moments of uncertainty or hesitation on the inside. A gentle question can give them the freedom to express themselves comfortably. Understanding the science behind comfort and connection also helps. The human nervous system works in two major modes: a protective mode and a relaxing mode. When a person feels rushed, confused, anxious, or pressured, their body stays closer to its protective state. Breathing is quicker, the muscles stay tense, and the mind remains alert rather than open. But when someone feels understood and not rushed, their system gradually shifts into the calmer mode that allows emotional warmth and physical closeness to deepen. This is not just psychology, it's biology. This is why patience matters so much. Slow, attentive presence gives the brain time to adjust. It signals, "You're safe, you're respected, you're in control." When your partner receives that message, their breathing slows, their shoulders drop, and the connection becomes more natural and meaningful. Before any action, your energy matters. Are you nervous, rushing, overthinking, or are you calm, steady, and genuinely focused on them? A relaxed presence has an incredible influence. Your tone of voice, the steadiness of your breathing, the warmth of your hands, even the pace of your movements, all of these things communicate safety without a single word. A partner can sense when you're genuinely present versus when you're distracted or treating the moment like a checklist. Presence builds connection. It tells them you're not just going through motions, you're actually experiencing the moment with them. Another important truth is that everyone's body reacts to stress differently. If someone has had a long day, feels overwhelmed, or is dealing with emotional tension, it affects how they experience physical closeness. No amount of enthusiasm can override a stressed nervous system, but kindness, patience, and warmth can calm it. Simple things like steady breathing, supportive conversation, and unhurried gestures help the body transition from stress into comfort. This is why emotional intelligence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can bring into a relationship. When you listen, observe, and respond thoughtfully, your partner feels valued. And when someone feels valued, they naturally relax into the connection rather than guarding themselves. Creating this foundation is not only good for the moment, it strengthens the entire relationship. It builds trust that carries into future interactions. It makes your partner more open to sharing what they enjoy, what they need, and what helps them feel secure. Over time, this creates a cycle of mutual confidence and emotional closeness. Many men think they need complicated techniques or perfect timing, but what truly matters is attention. Noticing someone's breathing, their body language, the way they respond emotionally, these are the signs that guide you. When you learn to read those subtle cues instead of rushing ahead, you become someone who creates comfort instead of pressure. And that's what transforms a simple moment into a meaningful connection. As we move deeper into understanding what creates meaningful closeness, it's important to remember that emotional safety is not an abstract idea. It's something that shows up through very real signals: your patience, your tone, your ability to listen, and the way you react to your partner's feedback. Many people underestimate how deeply these things affect the body. When someone feels judged, rushed, or ignored, their nervous system tenses up. Even if they want to enjoy the moment, their body can't fully relax. But when they feel respected and included, the opposite happens. Tension melts, breathing deepens, and their mind becomes more open to connection. This is why communication is not a formality. It's a tool. It doesn't have to be heavy or serious. Sometimes the most effective way to build comfort is through gentle curiosity. Instead of assuming you already know what they enjoy, you show genuine interest in understanding them. A simple question like, "Is this pace okay?" or "Do you like it when I stay slower?" creates a bridge between intention and experience. It lets your partner guide you, which not only keeps them comfortable, but also teaches you how to connect with them in ways that are uniquely meaningful to them. The body is incredibly sensitive to emotional tone. When you approach someone with steadiness instead of urgency, they feel it. When you slow down instead of rushing, their mind interprets that as care. This doesn't just improve the physical side of closeness, it strengthens the bond you share. It builds trust on a level that words alone can't achieve. The science behind this is fascinating. The human brain is wired to scan for danger even during positive moments. That doesn't mean something is wrong. It's simply how the protective parts of the brain operate. When someone senses that their partner is responsive and calm, the brain gradually turns down its alert system. This allows more space for warmth, comfort, and even emotional vulnerability. The more consistently this happens, the more the brain associates you with a sense of ease and companionship. This is why forcing intensity rarely works. It sends mixed signals. The body responds best when changes happen gradually, when there is time to settle into each shift. Think of it like adjusting to warm water. If the temperature changes slowly, the body adapts naturally. If the shift is too sudden, the body pulls back. The same principle applies to building emotional and physical trust. Reading nonverbal cues is a skill anyone can develop. You don't need special training, you just need to pay attention. Notice how someone's breathing changes. Notice if they move closer or pull slightly away. Notice if their shoulders loosen or stay tense. These small details reveal more than words ever could. When you respond to those signals with gentleness, you're telling your partner, "I'm paying attention. I care about your comfort." That message is powerful because it goes straight to the emotional core. One mistake people often make is focusing too hard on trying to impress. They become so concerned about doing things right that they forget the most important part: being present. You don't need perfection, you need intention, you need awareness. Nobody remembers the exact steps someone took. They remember how that person made them feel. If your partner feels valued, seen, and safe, the connection becomes unforgettable. And remember, your partner's comfort can change from day to day. Stress, mood, fatigue, and emotional pressure all influence how someone responds in intimate moments. What worked one day might feel different the next. Instead of assuming consistency, embrace flexibility. Ask small questions. Pay attention to the energy they bring into the moment. Meet them where they are instead of where you expect them to be. Another key aspect of connection is warmth. Not just emotional warmth, but the literal warmth of your presence. Cold, rushed, or distracted gestures can unintentionally create distance. Warm, steady, grounded gestures invite closeness. Even simple things like taking a breath before you move, keeping your hands relaxed, and staying mindful of your partner's expression can change the entire experience. Warmth calms the nervous system and makes everything feel more human and heartfelt. Confidence plays a role too, but not the kind that relies on bravado. True confidence comes from being comfortable with slowing down, from being patient enough to let the moment unfold naturally. It's the confidence to ask questions and listen to the answers without feeling insecure. It's the confidence to adjust your approach without taking it personally. When you show that kind of flexibility, you deepen the relationship in ways that last long after the moment is over. Some people don't realize how much internal pressure they place on themselves. They feel they need to create a perfect experience or deliver some kind of impressive performance. But perfection is not the goal. Connection is. And connection grows from paying attention to small, subtle things. A steady breath, a soft voice, a question asked at the right moment, a pause that gives your partner space to relax. These are the things that build an emotional foundation strong enough to support deeper intimacy. Verbal reassurance is just as important as physical cues. Compliments that are sincere and calm help your partner stay grounded in the moment. Telling them you appreciate their openness or that they look comfortable and relaxed reinforces the sense that you are present with them. Your tone matters. Soft, steady communication keeps the experience centered on connection rather than performance or tension. Matching your partner's breathing is another subtle but effective technique. When two people breathe in similar patterns, the brain interprets it as unity. You're not just near each other, you're attuned to each other. This helps reduce nervousness for both sides and builds a feeling of shared calm. As their breathing slows, yours slows too, creating a natural rhythm that brings you closer emotionally. A lot of people underestimate how much stress can influence intimacy. When someone is carrying emotional weight from school, work, family, or personal pressures, they may have difficulty relaxing. This has nothing to do with attraction or desire. It's simply the brain prioritizing protective mode. When you approach with patience instead of frustration, you help shift that internal state. A calm presence tells their nervous system, you can let go now, but sometimes that alone transforms the experience more than anything else. Over time, these moments of patience build a kind of trust that becomes the backbone of the relationship. When your partner learns that you listen, adjust, and care every time, they begin to open up more easily. They become more comfortable sharing what they enjoy, what they fear, and what helps them feel emotionally connected. You become a safe place for them, a person whose presence brings comfort instead of pressure. Understanding these dynamics also makes you more aware of your own patterns. You may notice when you're rushing, when you're nervous, or when you're overthinking. When you catch these moments, slow down. Take a breath, recenter yourself. Your partner feels the difference instantly because the energy you bring into the moment affects them directly. Connection is not created through speed or force. It's created through presence, curiosity, and care. When you learn to blend all three, you become someone who makes others feel genuinely valued. Not just in moments of closeness, but in the relationship as a whole. As we reach the final part of this message, it's important to remember that deeper connection is built from many small decisions: patience, communication, empathy, and presence. These qualities shape the way two people experience closeness, and they determine how safe and comfortable someone feels opening up emotionally. When you understand this, you stop thinking of intimacy as something you do, and you start seeing it as something you build together. A meaningful connection is never rushed. When someone feels pressured, even unintentionally, their mind pulls back. But when they feel listened to and respected, their guard naturally lowers. The nervous system reflects this shift in real time. Shoulders relax, breathing slows, and the mind becomes more receptive. These changes create the environment where closeness can grow, not from intensity, but from ease. One of the biggest misunderstandings people have is believing that physical affection alone creates connection. In reality, emotional context shapes the entire experience. If a partner feels valued, their brain releases calming chemicals that amplify warmth and trust. If they feel uncertain or unheard, their body remains tense, no matter how gentle the moment is. That is why communication before, during, and after matters so much. After sharing a close moment, many people overlook something essential: aftercare. This simply means checking in, offering warmth, and allowing time for the experience to settle emotionally. It does not have to be dramatic. Even a quiet moment of holding someone, listening to their breathing, or thanking them for being open can mean more than anything else. This shows them that the connection doesn't end the moment the physical part stops. Instead, it continues, and that continuity builds long-term trust. Your partner may attach deep meaning to how you act afterward. If you turn away, withdraw, or seem distracted, they may interpret it as disinterest. But if you stay present and calm, it reinforces the idea that you care about the relationship as a whole, not just the physical expression of it. These small choices shape how safe someone feels returning to those moments with you in the future. It's also important to recognize when someone is uncomfortable. If they express pain, tension, or emotional unease, take it seriously. Discomfort is not something to push through, it's a sign to pause. Often the fix is simple. Slow down, ask what's wrong, or change your approach. Sometimes the issue has nothing to do with the moment itself. Hormonal shifts, stress, fatigue, past experiences, or medical concerns can all influence how a person feels. By encouraging open conversation and never reacting negatively when someone speaks up, you show them that their comfort is your priority. At the center of all of this is a simple truth. Nobody expects you to be perfect. What matters is your willingness to learn, adapt, and care. The most meaningful experiences grow from curiosity, not certainty. Listening instead of assuming, asking instead of guessing. When you approach your partner with genuine interest in their comfort, you create a shared experience instead of a one-sided one. This mindset also strengthens your relationship outside intimate moments. When someone knows they can speak openly with you, they become more emotionally expressive in other areas too. They trust you with their thoughts, their worries, and their hopes. This deepens the bond far beyond the physical level. It creates a sense of partnership where both people feel understood and supported. Taking care of your own well-being is part of this foundation. Your emotional and physical health influence how present you can be for another person. Good sleep, balanced nutrition, and regular movement help your body stay calm and focused. When you feel grounded, you communicate more clearly, listen more patiently, and respond more thoughtfully. These habits make you a stronger partner and give you the energy to show up with intention. There are also natural supplements that support general wellness, but they should always be viewed as additions, not solutions. Ingredients like L-citrulline from watermelon extract support circulation in a gentle way by helping the body's nitric oxide pathway function more efficiently. Botanicals such as tonkat ali, fenugreek, and nettle root are often included in blends meant to support energy, stress management, and overall vitality. These should complement, not replace, healthy lifestyle choices. Before trying anything new, it's wise to research carefully and consider speaking to a healthcare professional, especially if someone has existing health concerns. Healthy relationships thrive when both people feel supported, respected, and emotionally safe. None of this requires special talent. It requires presence. It requires listening. It requires patience. And most of all, it requires seeing your partner not as someone you need to impress, but as someone you're choosing to understand. When you shift from performing to connecting, everything changes. The pressure disappears, the pace becomes natural, the experience becomes something shared instead of something expected. You create moments that feel human, grounded, and memorable. Moments your partner will carry with them long after they're over. At the end of the day, intimacy is not built with techniques, it's built with care. When you show your partner that their comfort matters, their voice matters, and their experience matters, you create a bond that strengthens over time. You become someone who brings calm instead of tension, clarity instead of confusion, presence instead of pressure. And that is what transforms closeness into something meaningful, something that deepens your connection, builds trust, and creates a relationship filled with warmth, understanding, and mutual appreciation.